Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, man, we have one of the most ridiculous shows we produced in the year 2024. It's that bad. It's that bad. But nevertheless, it looks like it's something that we got to talk about. We got to talk about it because we have to push back on some of this nonsense. So what happened yesterday, I was going through the internet and I was referred to a video of Gilbert Arenas visiting Dwight Howard's new channel podcast called Above the Rim with DH12, right? So he had a 2.5 hour sit down on Dwight Howard's show. And during this segment, during this visit, they were talking about Dwight Howard's, position on the top, on the top 75 list. They were talking about, Michael Jordan. They were talking about the scoring champion. They were talking about a range of things, the NBA today, the defense, and all of that. But then they get to a particular segment in the show. It's a long hour show. Thankfully, they had timestamps where they were discussing this GOAT debate, right, between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And funny enough, we actually put up a poll not too long ago on our channel. We got about 15 or 16,000 voters. And the question is, who's been compared more to MJ? Was it Kobe or LeBron? A lot of people voted on that poll, voted for Kobe. Then I pinned a comment and I said, look, from a basketball player standpoint, no player has been compared more to Jordan than Kobe. From a media standpoint and from debating, it's been LeBron James, right? So they, of course, decided to touch on this particular topic. And me and Gil, who are friendly to a certain extent, we kind of go back and forth chatting. And he's like, why are you talking about the GOAT debate? Ain't nothing else to talk about. I'm like, Gil, everybody talks about the GOAT debate. And then when I saw this episode, I'm like, you're telling me to talk about the GOAT debate. Here you are again talking about the GOAT. I'm like, let's figure it, like help me figure it out. He was like, well, that's what the big media does. I'm like, but here you are with Dwight Howard talking with old media, he said. I'm like, here you are with Dwight Howard talking about the very thing you asked me. Why am I talking? Why is everybody else talking about it, right? So I decided to click on this segment. Now, before I clicked on it, I already knew that I was going to be triggered. And I personally believe this is the reason why Gilbert Arenas is doing it. I think two things are happening. I think, one, Gil doesn't believe a word that he's saying. That's number one. Or number two, he has said these things so many times that now he's convinced himself that what he's saying is actually truthful, when in reality is not. I just can't. Gil is the only one that takes the basketball positions that he does and then tries to convince people around him. It's hilarious. As a matter of fact, during this segment, I shared it on our Instagram account, and I tagged Rashard McCann. I tagged him before, but I tagged him to 2 clips. And I'm like, yo, Rashard, come get your man. Come get your man. Like, this is your man's. Whose man? You know when they be like, whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? Right? Come get. And he was laughing and all of that, right? So Gil starts to explain to Dwight Howard, because there was a host that was there who couldn't help but twerk it all up. I was looking for his name. I couldn't find his name. He was over there twerking it something heavy. He was like, you mean LeBron the GOAT? He the GOAT to me. And he over there smiling, which makes it even more annoying because I know he ain't got no reason for you. He the GOAT to me. He the GOAT to me. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what is he talking about? But then, of course, I knew that Gilbert Arenas was going to co-sign the madness. And then that's why I was like, you know what? We got to produce a show to push back on some of this nonsense. And that's exactly what it was. And Gilbert Arenas went on this long monologue of why he believes that LeBron James is now the GOAT over Jordan. And he claimed, get this, Gilbert Arenas claimed that LeBron James is the one that is keeping Michael Jordan relevant, in the entire basketball world came for Gilbert Arenas after he made those ridiculous comments. But before we even get into what Gilbert had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Gilbert Arenas had to say. I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety. We got a long show for you guys because I got a lot that I want to say in rebuttal to this. But take a listen to his arguments here.
Like you said, who the GOAT? Brown the GOAT. Brown my GOAT. I'm going to keep it a beam,
I'm going to just tell you this.
Brown my GOAT, man. Y'all know that. Y'all though. Tway, you know that, bro.
The GOAT has to change. The GOAT has to change because when was the last time Jordan was Jordan? Most of the people who defend Jordan never seen a life.
Yep.
Right? I came in his back to, I came in, his back to back. My legacy of Jordan was the three-peat, the second one. I don't know nothing about the 80s, dude.
Yeah. When he still yeah.
Who born in 90? You don't know Jordan. Shut up.
Facts.
Right.
You don't know Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
If you was born in 88, you don't know Michael Jordan. You don't know what you was watching at 11 years old, dog. Shut up. Right? So Kobe was your GOAT.
Yeah.
Because you got to see what it really looked like.
Get him drafted in 96.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You really get to see, okay, so you're old enough to understand every movie he's doing, everything. LeBron James in this decade, you take away all the over 60 years old speaking on TV, they will never bring up Michael Jordan because he's not real today.
Yeah.
He's real, like we know who he is, but the only people who bring him up is when LeBron James' name gets. That's the only reason Michael Jordan is relevant.
Yep. They need somebody to combat that.
They're combating the stats.
Yeah.
The greatest. Like once LeBron James is solidified, you are the GOAT. Jordan swindles. That's why why nobody talk about Kobe being the great? Because he got surpassed already.
Yep.
There's no point in talking about number 3. It's only 1 and 2 now.
Yep. And that's why when people say GOAT debate, you can't. It's not 6, 7.
It's 1, 2, it's 2.
That's the debate. If you're fifth on a GOAT list, we're not debating you because you got 2 people above you.
Say Kareem.
If you're fifth on the GOAT debate, right?
Listen.
It was like if you're fifth on a GOAT debate and somebody else is 1 and 2, you're no longer in the debate. You get what I'm saying? Like
He's third.
Who's third?
That's fine, but he's not. That's fine. He's not in the debate.
Is he gonna go back out there and score some more points? The debate is over. Bro. He's third.
Because it's 2. So
one is done. He's done. Number 2, he's still playing. So it's not like when number 2 done, you about to inherit 30,000 new points to go back to the done. Number 3, get the out of here.
I know what he got to do. He got to change his name.
All right, bro. For the
he ain't gonna change them stats. Nigga.
Get a new name.
Like even with Kareem, I see his legacy. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So I can see his stats and some good. But I didn't watch you with my own eyes, so you can't be in my top 5 because I didn't personally see you.
Yeah.
Now if you telling me go
they
off
just numbers at this point.
And that's all it is. At numbers, screwed numbers. Oh, he did this and this and this in real time. This is, he got these special ed points. And you just start making up
special ed points.
Real shooting percentage.
Yeah.
Who makes this? Just stop, shut up. There's no such thing.
10-time NBA All-First team.
But also, these are just numbers, bro. I can't think of a moment to go with any of these numbers.
Because me, I'm gonna just look at this and say, wait, why is it first NBA first team? So how many all NBA teams was he?
All NBA?
Just all NBA.
10-time All NBA first team.
Okay.
How many All NBAs was he though?
5-time All NBA second team.
So 15.
15 time. 19-time NBA All Star. 6-time NBA champion. 6-time MVP.
That's tough.
That's crazy.
That's how,
That's a hell of a resume.
Now, I want you to. Now, this is what is messed up in history. We see that list: 19-time All-Star,
Yep.
total rebound champ, 6-time NBA champ, 11-time All Defensive, Rookie of the Year, 6-time MVP, 2-time scoring champ, 4-time block champ, 15-time All NBA, All Rookie team don't matter, 2-time Finals MVP, right? And they gave Jordan the GOAT.
That all the
That
credibility.
Jordan, they gave Jordan the GOAT in 89, 90 with not one championship.
Yep.
Right here, you let
broke
us.
the code.
You broke the code that
Yep.
said none of this matter.
Yep.
So stop using it then.
Because you're not using these
You
metrics.
didn't use it when you removed Kareem. You didn't use it when Bill Russell got moved.
Yep.
You didn't use that Magic Johnson and Bird. You removed these dudes from the GOAT debate because of how Jordan looked. So you cannot use it against Kobe, LeBron, and all these guys. You can't use 6 championships. You can't use that because you read this accolades and you gave it to somebody who didn't have none of this.
So, October 31st, 1994, the statue was installed at the United Center, right? 94. So at this time,
Three
rings. He was already deemed, on the statue, it says, greatest player of all time.
There was an article in 89.
With 3 rings.
89, he was the greatest man to ever touch a basketball. 89.
But the fact that they just went and etched out a statue, bro, and on the foot of the statue it says greatest of all time with 3 rings. Meanwhile, Kareem got 6.
So you heard what Gilbert Arenas had to say there, right? You heard what he had to say. I think what Gilbert Arenas said was absolutely ludicrous. 100% ludicrous. He said that LeBron James, here, let me repeat it once more. He said that LeBron James is the one that is keeping Michael Jordan relevant. When I heard him say that, because I tagged him to the story, I messaged him. I'm like, yo, what are you even talking about right now? And he's like, he's keeping Michael Jordan. I'm like, Gil, you do realize that MJ, an NBA player who stopped playing 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, are you aware that Michael Jordan sneakers outsell LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Stephen Curry combined every single year? Every single year, Jordan's shoes outsell LeBron, KD, and Curry combined. But he's not relevant. So you're telling me that all those people buying Jordans don't know who that is? They don't know who Michael Jordan is. All they know is that his shoe. They don't know who Michael Jordan is. That's the first thing he said. The second thing he said, and I asked him this, I said, if Jordan needs LeBron to stay relevant, why is LeBron constantly comparing himself and his cronies in media, constantly comparing themselves to a guy that's irrelevant? Why? I asked him this. I said, if Jordan is irrelevant and LeBron is the one keeping him relevant, why is he in desperate search for people to say that he is better than this guy that's irrelevant? Why is that? I asked him this. I said, why is that the case? Why is that the case? Why is that the case? He then took it a step further and he said, people already saying that LeBron James is the GOAT now, right? And he said the reason that they're saying it is for 2. He said the first reason people are saying LeBron James is the GOAT is because most of the people watching Michael Jordan never saw him play live. right? So he was talking about 60-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and all of that. Those are the only ones saying that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And I said, wait a minute. If you're saying that 60-year-olds are the ones that are saying Michael Jordan is the GOAT, wouldn't that mean that those same 60-year-olds also saw LeBron James play if they're 60? Like, this is the... Jesus Christ, God. Oh, my 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 God. Gil is saying that people who are in their 50s and 60s are saying MJ is the GOAT because they saw MJ play. But if they're in their 50s and their 60s, that means that they also saw LeBron. Hello? 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 If you're 50 and 60, it means that you witnessed Jordan's career, you witnessed LeBron's career, you witnessed Kobe's career. So it really has nothing to do with their age, does it? As a matter of fact, one can make an argument that those 50 and 60-year-olds have more information than you because they have more of a sample size because they saw all of these guys play. So that argument works against you. But he was saying it to say only old people say that. But here's the problem. Here's the problem again. There are also people in their 30s, 40s, and 20s that also believe MJ is a GOAT. This is the problem. And do you know how we can prove this? It is very easy. After the Last Dance docuseries came out, they polled NBA fans today. And over 73% of them voted for Michael Jordan. What is your point? It has nothing to do with who's old, who's young, who saw this, who didn't see that, who saw that, who didn't see this. Every generation that has been polled has picked MJ. This one, the one before that, and the one before that. So that argument goes right out the window. Right out the window. And if MJ was so irrelevant, why is it when he showed up on the 75th anniversary night in the place where LeBron James is from and got the most applaud from the crowd than LeBron James himself? Please, can we address that next, please? Can we kindly address that next, please? So how did MJ pull it off? He hadn't played in years, and then he shows up at this event, and all of a sudden, he got the loudest applause in the audience. Meanwhile, the person y'all are telling me is the biggest thing in basketball since sliced bread, LeBron, Jordan got more applause from that crowd than LeBron did in his hometown. In Cleveland, a city that he broke their heart on more than one occasion. And they were cheering louder for MJ than they were for LeBron. Gilbert, let me ask you another question. Why are you the only NBA player saying this? I heard other NBA players that are greater than you, to be fair. Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, all of them, Damian Lillard, no, I'm going to say, well, Damian Lillard's a top 75 guy. The point is, I've heard other top of the shelf players say when they went to the All-Star weekend, they said the entire atmosphere changed in the building when Michael Jordan went in. If MJ is not the GOAT and he's not relevant, how did that happen? How did it happen? You're the only one in sports media saying these crazy things. The only basketball player with these outlandish fringe opinions. AI said MJ was another thing. Carmelo Anthony said MJ was another thing. Damian Lillard said he was another thing. Dwayne Wade said he was another thing when he walked in the room. But here come Gilbert Arenas, trying to pacify LeBron fans who are sitting there in the corner twerking it up with a bucket of honey beating their meat to LeBron James highlights. Because that's all they must twerk. The other one sent me a message yesterday. After that story I put up on our IG, he goes, but you know that LeBron the GOAT. Now, I said, man, if you don't get you know what, smoking ass up out this comment section before I block you, what are you talking about? And I wrote them, I said, only LeBron fan. He started laughing because he knew how ridiculous he was. These are the only people that believe this nonsense. But I'm not even done yet. So he said that LeBron James is the one that keeps Michael Jordan relevant, which has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Then I wrote to him and I said, Gil, what you're saying is absolute madness. And he said, they're already saying LeBron is past Michael Jordan. I said, who is saying LeBron James past Michael Jordan? And he said, Hoops Hype. To God, I'm not lying to you. It was the first time I've heard about this website. I've heard of, was it Legion of Hoops before? Yes. But I'd never heard of Hoops Hype. He said, they're saying LeBron James is the GOAT. And he referenced me the picture of them saying that. I said, okay, let me go to the article and read it. So I want to read the article that they posted, right? Because this is the article that he referenced to me to say this. Let's read it. It starts off 78 greatest players 78 greatest players ever, the Hoops Hype list. And it goes, and it reads the following. It says, for the fourth consecutive year since the league released its NBA 75 list, we're updating our GOAT rankings, adding a 78th player as we leave the league's 78th season behind. This one comes with a momentous update at the top. One that will irk many and delight many others, especially on the younger side, so they admit it. They're giving it away. For the first time, Michael Jordan, the unsaleable GOAT for many years, doesn't hold the number one spot in our ranking. This shift follows a season in which LeBron James remained one of the premier players in the league and was actually the best on a star-studded Team USA and the Olympic tournament as a whole. As in previous years, we held a team vote with the opinions of 8 Hoops Hype staff members, discarded the highest and lowest ranks for each player, and awarded points based on the remaining positions. Now, let's delve into the list. I'm going to read you the top 2, just to keep this thing short. Number 1, LeBron James. Top accolades: 4 NBA titles, 4 Finals MVPs, 4 MVPs, 13 All-NBA First Team accolades, 20 All-Star accolades, 5 All-First Defense selections, 1 NBA Cup. Yo, what are y'all talking about? Y'all, I hope Hoop Hypes, whoever the hell it is at that company, sees this. Yo, what are y'all talking about? Y'all wrote 1 NBA Cup? Are you even serious right now? We supposed to be taking y'all serious, and y'all wrote 1 NBA Cup. And they wrote 1 NBA Cup MVP. Yo, are y'all serious? 3 gold medals, 1 Olympic MVP. NBA rank: 1st in scoring, 4th in assists, 8th in steals, 30th in rebounds, 81s in blocks. I'm surprised you didn't put turnovers and missed shots, but whatever. Share the votes. Okay, and then we're going to move on. And then they give some other ridiculous points. Then they go Michael Jordan. 6 NBA titles, 6 Finals MVPs, 5 MVPs, 10 All-First Team selections, 14 All-Stars, 1 Defensive Player of the Year, 9-time All-First Team selections. I noticed y'all didn't put in 10-time scoring title as champion as well. I noticed y'all also didn't put in highest scoring average in the history of the sport. I noticed y'all didn't put in highest scoring average in the history of the playoffs. I noticed y'all didn't put in 2 three-peats. But all right, we'll continue. 2 Olympic gold medals. 4th in steals, 5th in scoring, 50. So let me hear what they said. Probably the most iconic. Probably would mean that there could be somebody else. Who's the other one? Probably the most iconic influential athlete in all sport. Michael Jordan was the face of the NBA for a long time. Jordan's mid-range. Though we finally moved LeBron ahead of him, it's understandable many people still are still in the MJ GOAT camp. And then they went on to say, okay, so Gilbert Arenas, you already lost me. You already lost me. Because this article that you forwarded to me is putting LeBron James ahead of Michael Jordan because of an extra gold medal and an NBA Cup and an NBA Cup MVP. This is what you guys got left for me? This is what we doing? The NBA Cup? So basically, this ridiculous article and publication said that they're updating their list based on the fact that LeBron has won 1 more gold medal than MJ. He won an NBA Cup and an NBA Cup MVP. So therefore, that is now catapulted LeBron ahead of Michael Jordan as the NBA GOAT. Let me ask y'all a question. Who, after the NBA Cup, said that LeBron James was the GOAT? Who said that? Number one. Number two, Hoops Hype. I hope you guys are listening to this because I'm calling you out on your nonsense. I think your reason is the bunch of you guys are reading this article. I don't know what to say about your reasoning skills. I hope they see this article. I mean, this show. I hope they do. Help me understand something. You guys are placing more value on an NBA Cup than finals MVPs and championships. So let me ask you guys a question. What is harder to win, an NBA Cup or an NBA championship? Let me ask you guys another question. Since the Lakers won the NBA Cup, but they lost in the first round in the NBA playoffs, what does that say about the achievement of winning the NBA Cup? If they were good enough to win the NBA Cup, but they were not good enough to get out of the first round, what are we supposed to think about the accomplishment of the NBA Cup? Number two, the NBA Cup, in the final stage of it, you were not even playing the best team in the NBA. The Lakers won the NBA Cup against the Indiana Pacers, who went out, I believe, in the second or third round of the playoffs last year, if my memory serves me right. Who here accused the Indiana Pacers of being the best team in the Eastern Conference last year? Who did? Who came into the season last year saying, man, you better watch out for them Indiana? They said they had a high-powered offense, but that was about it. Nobody was putting them against Philly, up ahead of Philly. Nobody was putting them ahead of Boston. What about in the Western Conference? Who had the Lakers as the top? Who had the Lakers being the creme de la creme of the Western Conference? You had the Minnesota Timberwolves. You had the Denver Nuggets. You had the OKC Thunder. You had the Dallas Mavericks. Those were the best teams in the play, and they showed it, by the way. But you guys want to put more value in an NBA Cup because you're nothing but a bunch of twerking, honey slapping LeBron James fans who are looking for any reason to go out there and say LeBron the GOAT. So y'all found something. You're like, well, here goes something that Michael Jordan never did. The NBA Cup. Oh, let's give him that. But hold up. What are we supposed to do about that mental collapse that LeBron James had in the 2011 NBA Finals? How does that work? Is that not a disqualifying factor? How does that work? How do we explain the fact that Chicago Bulls never lost more than 2 games in a row in an 8-year window? How do we reconcile that? How do we reconcile that? How do we reconcile the fact that Jordan had multiple seasons where he won the regular season MVP, he won the scoring title, he won the finals MVP, he made the all-first defensive team in multiple seasons? How do we reconcile that? Gilbert Arenas, if this is your source, or rather, if this is your basic, or if this is your supporting argument for LeBron passing, and you're gonna quote Hoops Hype, and that's their argument, that's what you're basing it off. Nobody believes you. You gonna need more people. To quote Jay-Z, nobody believes you. And to me, I don't understand why you're obsessed with trying to make LeBron James be better than Michael Jordan. I've heard you talk more trash about Jordan in the last 2 years than I have ever heard you talk about LeBron in the entirety of his career. How do you think your show would do if you gave it equally to Jordan and LeBron? How do you think it would do? How many followers do you think you'll be losing? Gil is pandering to the younger audience, and he will say any ridiculous thing to support that. Dwight Howard, I lost respect for you because you sat up there and let Gil come on your show and basically get away with saying nonsense, and you basically supported it with your silence. The other dude, he was just over there twerking it up all over the place, knocking over microphones and everything. He was ready. He was like, I'm a LeBron fan. Before we get this segment started, let me bust out the honey right quick. He was getting ready to start rubbing it on your belly because he thought you was about to start twerking. That you did. They then brought up the final part that I'm going to leave you guys with, which was Gil was saying that they were already saying Michael Jordan was the GOAT. I think when he had, 3 rings. I think they said 3 rings, and then there was an argument where they said he had 3 rings, and there was an argument when they said he had, what was it, in 89, they were saying he was already the GOAT. And then he said, if you compare his resume to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's arguably the most accomplished NBA player ever, if you take him collegiate accomplishments all the way into the NBA, that he was saying that, well, how could he go past Kareem? He said, they were saying that in the basis to say, well, how come LeBron can't go ahead of Jordan, even though he's won less, has less accolades? There's a fundamental element that they decided to omit from that conversation. What they decided to omit was the fact that they were also looking at MJ play. You see, these people that judge and say Jordan's the best and all, they watch basketball. They don't just read stats and accolades. So what I think occurred is after Jordan won his 3rd championship in a row, what I think people did was they said, okay, you know what? The guy has exhibited the ability to win championships back to back to back, which is very hard to do as a guard. It never happened before, where a guard was winning multiple championships in a row. 3, it never happened. They didn't even think you could win championships as a guard being your primary guy, as a guard. Nevertheless, they then said the guy's winning championships, but they also looked at what he was doing throughout the course of his career, and they were also looking at the eye test. You think Michael Jordan with his 6 championships, you think it's unfair to Bill Russell? It's not, because they're not just looking at championships. Championships is a part of the argument. They're taking it, they're looking at all aspects of the game, including championships. And when you factor everything else in, impact on the sport of basketball globally, his playing style, how he played, how he looked when you watched him play basketball, the way he dominated his sport, there's no player. Jordan is unequivocally the best player ever, in my personal view and the view of the vast majority of NBA fans. The vast majority. That's why they view him to be better, or rather to be the best player to ever play the sport. That's the reason why. That's the reason. I defy any LeBron fan watching this show to come up with a salient argument for LeBron James being better than Michael Jordan. They won't find any. Why Gilbert Arenas is doing it, I think he's doing it to pander to a younger audience, and I think he's doing it for clicks and views. That's what I believe. I think Gil is saying things for shock value. I believe that. I think he's saying things for shock value. He knows that if I say things like this, I'll go viral. But in the midst of that, you're selling away your basketball soul for clicks and views and attention. And I don't understand why you're doing that. Because I believe that you could be just as popular by saying sensible things. I really believe that. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.